Hi, so here are for you Tatjana.
And Judith, hi everyone.
Yeah, and we are trying something new.
Yes, it's the off season now, so we're not at a competition, but the figure skating world is never restless. There are always some news, and there's a lot of
Especially now, actually.
yes. But I feel there's always some news. So our idea was to bring you these news, also discuss a little bit about it, share our opinion, ask for your opinion, and just make the waiting time for the next season maybe a little bit shorter.
Exactly. And we thought we start with the ice dance because this was the biggest news in the last few days that Maia and Alex Shibutani announced their return to competition after 7 years.
Yes, like when I first read that, I was really literally thinking, is this a joke? I was thinking, is this April 1st? Because it was really, really nothing that I expected. But I'm so excited about it because I have no idea what to expect.
Yeah, I mean it was a long break, and they stopped in 2018. They won the bronze medal in the individual event and in the team event in the Olympic Games. Then they wanted to take a break. They didn't even go to Worlds anymore that season, and then that break became much much longer than they probably had expected because they didn't retire at the time. They only said they'd take a break, and they were still young, only 23 and 26 when they stopped. But then, unfortunately, Maya was diagnosed with kidney cancer in 2019, and she had to undergo surgery, and that's a long recovery. So that was probably the reason why their break became as long as it became in the end.
Still, it's amazing that they wanted to come back and they said they only take a break. The break just became a little bit longer. And if we look on paper, back in the day, they were ahead of all our top competitors. Like they
Right.
were competing against Madison and Evan and Piper and Paul and Shelley and Marco, and they were far ahead of them. But 7 years, the other teams, of course, improved a lot.
Yeah, and
We'll
the
see.
ice dance has also changed. I mean, it's the rules have changed, and the there's the like some elements have become more difficult. So of course, I mean, they said as I saw a statement from Maya said they Alex and I have been working very hard. He said, and she cannot wait to perform again. So I do think that they really have been on the ice and training, and it's not like, oh, now we stop and now we come back and we start training now. I guess that has been a process
They had
already.
for quite a while, yes.
And they
So
were never, they always stayed also connected to the skating world. And I saw them, they came to NHK Trophy. They were one day there last season.
at Worlds, they were also here at Worlds in Boston at
Yeah,
Worlds. Yeah.
there I didn't see them, but yeah, but there were many, of course, because it was in the US, and they had won a gold medal in Boston in 2016 when it
Yeah.
was
I saw
last
them
time.
in the mixed zone once, so yeah, they were there.
Mm,
And yeah, I guess they knew already and they were
of
looking
course.
already, oh, this could be us next year again. So
Yeah, yeah. So, and as comeback athletes, as former world medalists, they also can get a Grand Prix.
yeah, they didn't know that this I thought it also is only valid for like 2 years or something, but also
Mhm.
after 7 years you could come back.
I think it doesn't give a time frame. It
Yeah,
only says you can make
can
use
come
of
back.
this once.
Ah,
So
okay.
you cannot,
Okay. I thought it
yeah,
had to be like within 2 years or something,
I
but
don't think so.
okay.
I don't recall that, but
But otherwise, they just can go to a challenger and get some points, and then they would be the first alternates, anyways. But like this, they would even, or like that, they can get a second Grand Prix, I guess. So yeah, we'll
yeah,
see. We'll see. Exciting, exciting. I think some US teams, because the US ice dance is already so competitive, So I think like Green, Parsons, Singas and Kolesnik, these guys are trembling a little bit right now. What do you think?
Yeah, yeah, of course, it's always hard. And I know there are people that don't like the idea of skaters, former successful skaters, coming back and then taking away spots. Um, so it is really tough to say because on the one hand, I really feel with others, somebody if they are really good and qualify, they will take a spot that somebody else would have had. That's
Yeah,
out of question.
exactly.
But on the other hand, they I'm sure they have to earn that spot. They have to be good, and whoever is good and whoever is the best should get the spots.
Yes,
So
exactly. They don't have the spot guaranteed. I like because the US ice dance is so competitive, it could also very likely be happen. Maybe they only are getting fifth at US nationals or anything like that because
yeah, that
there
we
are
don't know. I
yeah.
mean, we will see when they actually start competing next season because they won't will not start with US nationals. They will do some maybe they will do the Grand
Yeah.
Prix if they because they should be able to do it and challenger events to get in again for sure. So then we guess then we will have an idea how they are going to do.
So
And
yeah,
they are yeah
this was
sorry
not, of course, the first kind of surprising comeback in ice dance. Ice dance is right now the category that seems to be yeah, quite exciting with next season because of course we had the other big comeback announcement of Guillaume Cizeron and Laurence Fournier-Baudry a couple of months back. So
Yeah, so the ice dance has become even more unpredictable because even in that past season, there was lots of things were happening, and some
exciting
people,
results.
yeah, Piper and Paul winning, and or Lila and Lewis or Madison Evans. So there was, yeah, some movement in the standings, and with these new old teams, it will be even more
Yeah.
exciting.
And in Milan, I know all Marco and Charlene want to get this medal so much, and I personally also really hope for them to get it because I know specifically for them it was a very hard decision to actually keep going, and they kept going because of these Olympics. And
Right.
I know my heart will be bleeding if they don't get it, but it will be very tough.
Yeah, it will be tough. That's for sure. But I
Made the best
also,
one win.
yeah, I wish everybody could get a medal who
Definitely
deserve
that.
it. I mean, the especially the ones that didn't have one yet. So, uh,
Piper Paul as well.
yeah, they didn't have a medal, and Madison Evan, they only have the team medal.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, which is also good already. I mean, to be Olympic champion, they have
But
a
seven are, I think, the front runners still very likely to at least get on the podium. I also see them as the favorites for gold. I do think the new teams can shake things up, but I don't necessarily see them winning. But we will see. Maybe they will.
yeah. It's also because when you are a new team or you have been away for a time, it's because ice dance also you need the consistency. You need to be on the judges' minds. I because all these teams are so good, their elements are so good, so it's really small things that make the difference. And some of that is like just subjective, like the component score, for example. It's still the judges decide. It's not, and the technical panel, of course, they decide about the levels, but the judges give the GOEs, the judges give the
Yeah.
component score. So, and that's still a lot of subjectivity.
And we also should not forget that we will have a Russian entry at the Olympics, not only in
Yeah,
Iceland.
probably. Yeah. So if Stepanova Bukin, they are like the top team in Russia. If they are allowed to take part in the qualifier, then they uh, probably should qualify, and then they also are a team that was among the top. Not, I don't think they have a medal chance at World or Olympic. I mean, it's only for the
At
Olympics
Olympics,
anyway.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't really think they would have a medal chance, but they are also a top team for sure. And then there was the other Russian team that retired, dance team, surprisingly, Elizaveta
Oh yeah,
Khudarbedieva
that's also
and
new.
Yegor Bazin. Yeah, they retired, and she's still young. She's only 22.
Yeah,
But they said they retired because their goal was to compete at the Olympic Games, and
they
they
weren't considered.
learned that they were not selected for the qualifier. So
But so that means they probably also haven't been selected as the alternate.
yeah, but maybe even if they had been selected as alternate, they probably didn't think that would be enough. I don't know. So yeah.
I thought probably they weren't even selected as alternate, and that would be surprising because I thought probably they would be the first alternate. But I'm
Well,
not
it
a
was
super.
very close. I wrote this article about who Russia might send because we don't have any official information about that this time. But it was very close between them and the other team, Irina Havronina and David Narishny. It's a team that hasn't competed internationally because they only came
But
together.
David Narishny competed internationally.
Yeah, he did, but as a team, I mean, and
Yeah,
she did. She was with
yeah,
Dario Tiriziano, was a successful junior ice dancer.
yeah,
Havronina Tiriziano was a team, and Narishny, he was a world junior medalist.
exactly.
Um, yeah,
Yeah,
Shanaeva Narishny was a team.
exactly,
But
exactly.
this team,
Yeah,
Havronina Narishny,
yeah,
is still kind of unknown to the outside world because they only competed inside
in Russia,
Russia.
of course. Yeah,
And it was very close with them and Khudabediva Bazin. So
so it
maybe
could
then they
that they are the
decided to,
alternates.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. They now with Khudabediva Bazin gone, I'm sure they are the first alternates. Even so, Narizhny had a surgery, some injury he needed to take care of. He did that shortly at the beginning of the year, so not long after Russian nationals, but now he's back training. So they should be ready as well in case it's needed. Yeah, and so we talk now a lot about ice dance, but there's also some comeback and news about pair skating.
yeah. So it could very well. Well, we all know already that Wenjing Sui, Olympic champion in Beijing 2022, of course, um, wants to come back or will come back. But there's news about that, or like at least rumors.
Yeah, I mean, there were even videos with her new partner, Li Chen, but now the new rumor says that she might come back actually with Han Song, with her partner that he won the Olympic gold with. So
That
that's
would
new
be
because
exciting.
he
Yes.
seemed to be really retired and he was teaching and but now the news from China coming say that well apparently the rumor has been going on for a while and that he has resigned from his post
Job.
from his position teaching position and yeah well that would be interesting. It was
That
already interesting with Wenjing coming back with a new partner. But this,
I
yeah,
think with Changhan, he will, she will, they will be more competitive, and I with them, I really think they will be competitive. Like, yeah,
yeah.
but we will have to see.
I mean, if they come back and if they um,
Are
are
in
at
their
the
own shape.
level they need to be, then of course, and they have to do the qualifier.
Oh yeah, true. China
China
hasn't.
does not have and did not have a pair at the World Championships, and so could not qualify an entry. So they
Yes,
definitely have to do the qualifier, and
and we will see
they
then.
or somebody else. But I think if they want to come back, then they
I
will
will
do.
do it.
Yeah,
Yes.
because also the young Chinese team that was successful in the
Well,
Junior Grand Prix, they are now next season age eligible.
senior eligible.
Yeah,
Yes. And
yeah.
have to do seniors. I think he is too old for juniors even if
Yeah,
yeah.
and he finally is old enough
Enough,
for
yeah.
seniors. Yeah, yeah. He was older than Luca Berula.
Yeah, Luca Berulava was at least in the that was a side story, but everyone was complaining always about Luca Berulava. Look, that Luca Berulava could still go to Junior Worlds next season, everyone.
Yes. Yeah.
They have another year of junior.
But they said, don't worry. He said they're not going to do it because the Olympic season coming up, and then they have the Olympic Games, which is
It
obviously
will be a little bit too much then, I
just a
see.
little bit more important than Junior World.
I mean, they could probably make history of him being. I don't know if anyone else won Junior Worlds 4 times in pairs, but
Oh, yeah, but I mean, Sui Han won a couple of times. I think they won
yeah.
three.
But I don't think 4 times. But yeah, all right.
But
Um,
there might be, and then now we talk about these comebacks, and yeah, there's always rumors in an Olympic season who might come back.
ah, so let us know. What do you think? Who should come back? Who do you want to come back? I mean, there's even been some rumors going on that maybe we have Yuzuru Hanyu come announce his comeback. I'm not really sure how probable that is, but I mean, he has been still doing his quads in the shows, so who knows? And I mean, Yuzuru loves the Olympics. We all know that.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
So
yeah. Or tell me,
anything,
what do you think? Do you have any?
anything is possible. Anything
Any
is possible. But and what do you think in general about comebacks?
I,
Because some people, as I said, some people don't like these comebacks. But
it has a little bit of a bitter taste. I personally had a little bit more, even a bitter taste with Laurence and Guillaume. Also because, yeah, for these French teams and the other French teams, or the other French team who's most likely going to miss the Olympics, because kind of for me, because Laurence is not even French now, they're going for France, and I don't know. It's a little bit of a bitter taste. On the other hand, I also always think like, may the best one win, you know. And if they are good at the comeback and they are better than the teams or the skaters that are currently competing or have been competing the last 3 years, then they deserve the spot because they are better.
yeah, yeah, it's yeah, not so easy
Yeah,
to
there's somehow like always, as I said, like this bitter taste with Maya and Alex. I don't know. I felt more easy about that, especially also when you think about her cancer story and that they actually had been wanting to come back before, and yeah, but also there, why not last year yet? But
yeah, good. But also, I mean, they're still not. I don't know if because the Christina Carrera and Vadim Kolesnik, I think they still need to get the citizenship too. So
yeah, I think yeah, that's true. That's true.
yeah, might, but we don't know how
But the
they
process is,
said
yeah,
that that's like in the process is going, but
yeah,
we don't know when it will happen, and it's
exactly.
not so much time left right now, so
Yeah.
less than
There's
a year.
quite some people who still need citizenship in all disciplines all over. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's always a big issue for the Olympics. Yeah. So that's all these comeback news that we wanted to discuss with you. And then there were some
Baby
baby
news!
news.
There were some baby news! Look, Aliona Kosternaya is also expecting, and I mean, that's been news last week already. But today came out that she's also having a boy, just like her former teammate Alexandra Trusova. They are even pregnant at the same time with the same
Yes.
baby gender. The future of Russian men's singles is secured. We'll see. In like 20 years, we'll have another Trusova against Korstanaya.
Yeah. Who
With,
knows?
with the, no, Ignatov, right? It's Ignat,
Yeah, she's Trusova Ignatova. And
and the boy
I
would
don't know.
be Ignatov.
Castanaya's husband is Georgi Kunica. So
So the boy would probably have,
his
yeah, or
name.
yeah, or Kostanaya. Well, how would be the male version of Kostanaya?
Castornoy, maybe?
We will see. We will see. Yeah. But yeah, happy for both of them actually uh, that they found joy in life and love. And I mean, they are very young for getting
They are
to
young, yeah. I mean, 20 and 21. Yeah, Alexandra will turn
21.
21 now in summer, and Alyona will turn 22. But yeah, it's young. But in Russia, it's quite
Question
common
is
that
kind of common.
they, yeah, to marry early and to also to have children early. Interesting enough, sometimes it's like they have in Russia families they marry early, they have a child, and then there's a long break, and then they might
They
have
have another
another
child.
child
Yeah.
after 10 years or so. I know quite a lot of cases like this, so interesting.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I wish them all the best. I mean, Kostanaya at least definitely still thinks maybe of coming back after giving birth. We'll see. But no,
Yeah,
she should have the baby, I think.
yeah. They said at the beginning of the season, they said that they are going to take off 2 years, and even at the time, it was like, oh, probably they might start a
Maybe a baby.
family. So that was like the first thought that people had. So that wasn't so surprising. I was a little bit more surprised about Alexandra Trusova getting pregnant,
I
but on the
wasn't
other
like, I
hand,
don't know. I think about truth. I wasn't surprised about either of them because I think I read that Trusova she also really wanted to get married and get a family, have a family early. And
yeah,
I
she
also
always
thought
wanted.
it's very rumorish, but I read I think this is why the relationship with Mark Kondrachuk ended because he didn't want that yet and she wanted a family and get married. I read that somewhere. I'm not entirely sure about that, but I kind of had in mind that she wanted a family early, and maybe she said that somewhere. And yeah,
Yeah, she
no,
did. That's true. But I still thought he might
wait a little.
consider to come back, or
Ah, yeah, yeah.
if at one point Russia is allowed to compete again internationally. Yeah. So then I think that was our
That
podcast
was
for
the
today.
news for now. Exactly.
Yes. And we hope you enjoyed it, and you can leave your comments, and you can follow also on Pirouette News, and then we will also post, and the next podcast is also planned for next week, then for probably
Yes.
Sunday.
And if you have any suggestions, what you would you like us to discuss, or yeah, who do you think will come back? Yeah, please let us know, and we hope to see you next week.
Yes. So take care. Stay tuned. Bye.
Bye.